Hello, grade 5s. This is day 2 of our fish farms. Today we will be preparing for a friendly debate about fish farming. What are you going to need? You're going to need to have your notes from yesterday, the pros and cons of fish farming. You're going to need to read both of the articles posted on our day plan. You will then reread the article that supports your position. How do you find your position on this issue? It is not what you personally think, but instead we are assigning you a position. So you will need to use your thinking skill, dialectical thought, to take on perhaps a perspective that is not your own while considering multiple other perspectives. If you are an even number, you are going to be for fish farms. This means you are taking on the perspective of thinking that fish farms are great. If you are an odd number, you are against fish farms. This means you're taking on the perspective of thinking that fish farms are a terrible idea. This is what the two articles should look like when you have clicked on them. You're going to read both of them, then you will reread the article for your position. It is important that you read the opposite perspective as it might help you develop your arguments and it will help you in the actual debate. You are going to use these two articles, so one of this article, whether you're for or against, as well as your notes from yesterday to fill out this worksheet that we have put on the day plan today. And now we will just look at an example of what that might look like when you have filled it out. In grade 5, you often hear us talking about having evidence to support your claim. So today you can see that there are lots of lines next to each number. We want you to come up with 5 main arguments to support your position. You're going to use your notes from yesterday. You will expand on your notes, so provide evidence, and this can be evidence from the movie. And you will also be using evidence from the reading today. We would like you to put this into your own words. Let's look at 2 examples. My position is for fish farms. One of the reasons fish farms are great is it creates jobs. This does not have very much evidence. It's 3 words, but I have 4 lines to write on. So while it does create jobs, I need to go back and find some textual evidence or evidence from the video to support my claim. Let's look at another example stating the same thing, but with some evidence. A reason I am for fish farms is it creates jobs for our coastal communities, about 6,000, which is really important because other industries like forestry and fishing do not have as many jobs. People who used to work in those jobs can now work at a fish farm instead. So while you are filling out your main points today, please make sure that you have lots of evidence to support your claim because your job is to convince someone of the opposite perspective that you are right and they are wrong. Once you have finished these 5 arguments, you are going to transfer them to our blog. So follow the link for the blog post and add your arguments. You are going to need to use your initials and a sentence starter. I am for fish farming because, and then you can list your 5 reasons. Or I am against fish farming because. As you can see below, I have an example post of using my example of baking cookies at home. So here you can see my initials and my division. And then my sentence starter, I am for baking cookies at home, and my 5 reasons as to why that is great. Good luck. Can't wait to see what you come up with.